going to show you how I cut these slabs. Originally, when Rick had made these molds, he had made me a cutter, a grid cutter, but it was way too heavy, and I couldn't get enough leverage to cut these slabs, all the soap at the same time. If you've ever seen a grid cutter before, it's going to cut all the soap. It's not rocket science what I do. We made this guide, and what I do, since these slabs that I have one side of them already beveled for me, I can use that as a guide, and I line it up. I line the whole slab up. Make sure the bevel's right in the center of the guide. And this is what I use. I use a hacksaw that I rigged one year when my husband was gone on a business trip, and I got tired of trying to manage that grid cutter. So I rigged his hacksaw, and I take the first cut with the hacksaw down into the guide, or the groove of the guide, and I have two pieces now. That makes it easy to work with. This isn't fancy, but it works. Then I have this, it's a Cumberland acoustic cutter. And I use this one for my slabs. And I use the tank, and then I bought another one. I bought one from Bud Hafner that's a different size for some other bars. And I like both the tank and the one I got from Bud Hafner. But of course they won't work with the slabs, so I use the Cumberland. And I just line up the bevel, which works perfectly, and I slice. See how pretty that is? Because I was at a light trace, it went through instead of sitting up on top. And this cutter works perfectly for this application for me. And of course, having the bevels on the back end of it, that helps guide. So I've got real nice bars, and they're They're not wonky cuts. Cutting these slabs used to be a bit of a nightmare in the beginning until we figured out how to line it all up right. I would get all these wonky sized bars if I wasn't really careful. These are just perfect. Real happy with them. So now these go on the drying rack for a couple months. Thank you.